You are beautiful. You are strong. You are love. You deserve to have the life you desire. It doesn't matter what others say about you, it's about what you say about you. You are worthy. Hey, you guys, welcome back to my channel. You are what you think. Today, I'm going to be pretty much talking about rejection and how to manage it. Just a little story time. I'm gonna take y'all all the way back to when I was really, really young. I had my first crush when I was like, I think 8 years old. I was 8, maybe 7.5, whatever. Anyway, I had my first crush. And I remember when I was homeschooled at the time, my mom had taken care of a few other children. And, it was the first time I think I had asked my sister, my younger sister, or a friend of mine, if to ask the guy that I had liked, like, does he like me back? And he didn't like me, guys. I was so hurt. I was like, oh, that's sad. He liked my friend instead. So, that was the first time I experienced like someone not reciprocating feelings that I had for them towards me. But as I got older, I realized like after that experience, within my neighborhood, there were a couple of other guys that were a little bit older than me that found me, I guess, attractive, but they were too old for me first. But outside of that, I was not attracted to them. So the other day I was driving, I was just thinking about like rejection and how as adults, we still seem to get extremely affected at times by either someone not liking us back or a job perhaps not seeing us fit for a certain position that we apply to. And we get so affected by it as if it's us, like we're the problem, when in actuality, it's just a preference. You may be actually overqualified for a position, or they may want someone who they can pay less. Like, it happens all the time. Sometimes people's qualifications are worth more than what a job is willing to offer. So at times, instead of being upset that you didn't get a position, you should actually be like, maybe God has something better in store for me. And I think the same applies to being attracted to a potential significant other. There are times where people are like, maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe, people find like, preference is preference. At the end of the day, there are going to be people who find you attractive no matter what you look like, and there are going to be people who don't find you attractive. And that same rule applies to even people who are pretty much, I guess, in the eye of the whole beholder, seem to be extremely attractive. I'm not sure if I fit that category, but there are people like Beyonce and Rihanna. I'm gonna go straight to the celebrities. Some people actually don't find them attractive or prefer one over the other. That doesn't mean that the other person is not attractive. It just means that someone prefers someone else's appearance more than the other. And today we still experience that. Like, there are some people who don't find me attractive. There are some people who find me attractive. And I think navigating that in a healthy manner is extremely important. But oftentimes, I think the way people feel about other people rejecting them usually stems from the lack of preparation or the knowledge of what I just shared with you. Like, we forget, mindfulness can sometimes slip. And we can really get caught in the moment of the rejection versus being understanding and saying, it's okay, it's okay. There's something better in store for you. So I said all that to say that I think it is so important. And this is what I was really thinking about. I'm like, people, in the way men typically handle rejection, even though they've experienced it most of their lives compared to women, I feel like stems from them not being prepared for what that feels like or what that should look like when they're young. So if you are a parent, I truly, truly, truly hope that you pretty much share with your child while they're young why they may experience rejection, and that it's not them, that it's more so the other person, you know? Like, I don't know. I just be thinking of random stuff and I'm like, I feel like this is helpful. This would be beneficial, especially to the future generations, because I wasn't taught anything about rejection when I was younger. And I was like, if I wasn't taught this, even though I'm a woman, even though I wasn't taught this, maybe there are other young girls and young boys who also didn't learn this, who are my age now, who, you know, sometimes forget that rejection isn't about them per se, but more so a preference or the situation, right? So I was like, you know, the best way to explain rejection is to literally pick out 10 celebrities, you know, pick out some that are deemed to be extremely attractive and then some that may not be, you know, deemed as super attractive, and then have the child point out who they think is most attractive to them. I can tell you, for instance, when I was younger, I had a crush on Chris Brown. While our age gap isn't that drastic right now, when I was like 9 or 10 years old and he was 16, that's a big age gap. But yes, when I was 10, I had a crush on Chris Brown for the longest amount of time. And I'm pretty sure there are other younger children who have crushes on people who are older than them. So I say to do that, and then to say, now, do you think that the people you deem not attractive, right, out of these 10 people may be attractive to someone else, and see how they respond? I think guiding children in a positive way to understand things that people project to be as negative will be healthy as they get older, so that they know how to not necessarily manage that, but so that they know how to feel when a situation like that comes up, because rejection there is no escaping it. Like, there is no escaping it. No matter if you want to talk to somebody who you find attractive, or it could be even getting picked on teams as you get older. Somebody may not want you on their team based off of height, based off of how fast you are, so many different things. And I think it's important for people not to take that personally, because it takes a shot at their ego. And our egos shouldn't be affected by rejection. You know, you are awesome and beautiful and perfect in the light and in the way that God made you. You know, everybody is not going to find you attractive. Everybody is not going to, you know, necessarily want you on their team. You're not qualified to do everything. I'm not qualified to do everything. So this whole video is pretty much about understanding and navigating what rejection is like in the real world, and what younger people can look forward to when they get older, just so they know how to navigate it in a mindful manner. Because you don't have to feel negatively about someone else or a situation just because you weren't picked, or just because someone didn't choose you. There are so many people in the world. There are so many different opportunities in the world. There's just so much the world has to offer everyone. So you shouldn't get so, what's the word I'm looking for? You shouldn't get so stuck in a way, I guess, stuck in a moment that may not be that great, because there's so many moments to come. So yes, please, if you have a child, teach them when they are extremely young. I say even as young as 6 and 7, using celebrities, so that they know that when someone deems them not attractive, it's not because they're not attractive. It's just because that person may not prefer their appearance over someone else. Has nothing to do with them. Has everything to do with the other person. And that's a wrap on this video, you guys. I just feel like navigating rejection is important. It helps us create strong, healthy, mentally qualified adults for today's society. Oftentimes, especially as it pertains to the male genetics and things like that, like men, I find, seem to still struggle with rejection, depending on a lot of different factors. And I think it's important for people to realize that everyone likes different things, and there's still a possibility for them to find love, to get the job they want, to create the opportunities that they search for, and so much more. So guys, I just want you all to know that I love you dearly. Please hold yourself in beautiful light. Speak positivity into you always. Never take someone else's words to heart, and never take your life for granted. Love you. Until next time, be well.